What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are Lit to man. Turn. Take to motherfucker. Hey, show you outside. Big crib and a gang showing outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo. Russia do your thing in Texas. Stand the fuck up. Ease that is to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down. I'll say back. Never let somebody tell you who you are. But also never put yourself in a position to don't belong. Let's stay humble. Let's go on revolution on this movement. Keep Yahweh first. Come and choose black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out here. Alright. Boom. Today, to motherfucker. Hey, show you outside. Big crib and a gang showing outside shit, man. Turn up in the gang. Bruh, I don't know what it is with these celebrities when they get this Moneion, fame, and fortune, and they just crash out. Bruh, it's like, y'all get to a point to where, I guess life just be boring to these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I guess life just be boring to these niggas. And they just gotta have a little bit of excitement to stir up their life. Bruh, like I said, man, sometimes that excitement could be the end of you. You know what I'm saying? So we got Lil Nas X. You know, he's the Zesty. I think he's the Zesty final boss. You know what I'm saying? This the Zesty final boss. You see me? All these little Zesty ass motherfuckers? That's your boss, nigga. Zesty Lil Nas X, y'all final boss to beat, nigga. He got arrested for, I guess he was on drugs, walking down the street with this indecent attitude. He is halfway naked, fighting police officers, which that's a W, but the other bullshit crazy. You know what I'm saying? So they looking at some big time for this nigga, low key. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna see if this nigga industry plant, which we think he is. But let's get into it.
So, calling the case of people versus Gerald Hill, case number 25 VWCF 01389. So, appearing with the defendant is Christine O'Connor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And Ms. Garuti for the people. I would disclose to both sides, I believe I observed, as did thousands of others, what led up to this arrest. I did not observe the arrest. Apparently there was nothing filed on the events that of the defendant's actions prior to the police arrival. I just want both sides to know that. So, Mr. Hill, you have a right to a speedy preliminary hearing within 10 court days of today, 60 calendar days. You understand and give up that right so your case could be set for preliminary hearing setting on September 15th with the understanding that any preliminary hearing occurred within 10 court days of that day?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll answer it with Judge Brandolino, Department of F.
Now there's nothing in the record that drugs were even a part of this. And so this is just an aberrant episode and in an otherwise productive life. To call his life productive, I think, would be an understatement. I think it's a remarkable life.
So, Mr. Hill, do you understand and accept those conditions?
Yes. He's very remorseful for what happened, you know, but it can happen in any family, you know. He's going to get the help that he needs, and just keep him in your prayers, you know. Give him the same grace and mercy that God give everyone.
Sir, what kind of help?
For the fans that love him and adore him, is his dad said pray for him, think about him, root for him, cheer him on, and don't forget all the success that he had, and just don't judge somebody by the worst moment in their life.
And when I smile, this is me doing a full smile right now, by the way. It's like, what the fuck? Bro, I can't even laugh right, bro. What the fuck? Oh my God. So, Oh my God, bro. So, yeah.
Shout out to Rap Daily. We finna look at Lil Nas X, man. And they got arrested on some goofy shit.
Lil Nas X locked up in a Los Angeles jail cell, let alone sentenced. But after pulling this wild stunt and attacking a cop while naked, his future behind bars looks real. The real
Man, what y'all think going on with this bozo, man?
Completely lost his mind.
Just keep them in your prayers.
You think this is a celebrity tactic to get
How
tickets?
Lil Nas X ended up in handcuffs. Listen up, because this story about to blow your
This
mind.
nigga the ultimate fruitcake boss at the end, bitch.
Los Angeles police getting frantic calls.
This the ultimate fruitcake boss, bitch.
City. Nobody on that dispatch call knew they about to arrest one of the biggest names in music, but that's exactly what went down on Ventura Boulevard that morning. The scene was straight chaos from minute one. Multiple witnesses describe watching this figure stumble through the early morning streets wearing
That motherfucker zest out, capped out, nigga.
cowboy boots. At first, folks thought maybe they were witnessing some elaborate music video shoot.
Ain't no damn way, bitch.
The reality was
Ain't no damn way,
Montero
bitch.
having what appeared to be a complete mental breakdown in broad daylight. TMZ managed to secure exclusive video footage that shows the full
Nah, my boy.
behavior.
Hey, don't be late to the party tonight. Where at? You know where it's at.
The clip reveals him wandering aimlessly, belting out random songs and obsessively inviting strangers to some mysterious party that existed only in his head. What's particularly haunting is watching him place a traffic cone on his skull like some twisted crown, completely disconnected from the reality unfolding around him. The footage captures something deeply troubling. You can witness the exact
Hell nah, boy.
flickered in and out. One second he's performing for cameras with his trademark confidence. The next, he's desperately pleading with people to stop recording, as if suddenly understanding how vulnerable and exposed he looked. Bystanders didn't know whether to intervene, call emergency services, or just document what appeared to be a celebrity having the worst day of his life. The situation
What the fuck, this nigga in LA?
when law enforcement arrived on the scene. Instead of surrendering peacefully,
Or
or attempting to
ATL,
explain
nigga.
his condition, reports confirmed that Montero physically attacked the responding officers. Witnesses described him charging like a wild animal, completely unable to distinguish between people trying to help and perceived threats. The officers
This
faced
motherfucker been
impossible
done capped out,
situation,
bruh.
dealing with someone clearly in crisis while also
As soon as he started doing the little zesty ass fruity
paramedics suspected he was experiencing a severe
them fruity
drug
ass
overdose, forcing
motherfucking
him to rush into
videos.
emergency medical care before any booking could occur. The hospital evaluation stretched for hours, with medical professionals running extensive toxicology screenings and neurological assessments to determine what exactly had triggered this extreme behavioral episode. Once doctors cleared him medically, the legal machinery kicked into high gear. Montero found himself transported to Valley Jail in Van Nuys, his very first experience inside a correctional facility. The irony wasn't lost on anyone that the same man who once joked about going to jail over Satan shoes was now actually behind bars
Dumbass.
facing serious
And I can't believe Nike actually sponsored that shit.
situation described his initial processing as traumatic, with him struggling to comprehend how his life had spiraled so dramatically.
Keep God y'all in your life at all times, bitch.
Extra security measures,
End up like this bozo ass nigga.
and heightened documentation of every step in the process. This wasn't just another arrest. This was a Grammy-winning superstar being fingerprinted, photographed, and assigned an inmate number. The psychological impact of that transition from global icon to county jail detainee cannot be understated. When prosecutors finally filed charges on August 25th, they didn't hold back. 4 separate felony counts hit the court docket, 3 for battery causing injury to police officers, plus 1 for resisting arrest with violence. Each individual charge carries up to 3 years in state prison, meaning if convicted on everything, Montero could disappear behind bars for over a decade. That's a career, life-altering amount of time for anyone, especially someone who just turned 20.
Y'all remember when I showed Speed, I was zested Lil Nas X?
Extremely seriously. These aren't misdemeanor slaps on the wrist. These are
How
felony
you out zest Lil Nas
require
X?
mandatory minimum sentences upon conviction. The district attorney's office clearly viewed the video evidence and officer statements as sufficient to pursue the maximum possible penalties. Legal analysts have been pointing out that celebrity status actually works against defendants in cases like this, as prosecutors want to demonstrate equal treatment under the law. The courtroom drama reached its peak during his arraignment. Standing before a Los Angeles Superior Court judge, Montero entered not guilty pleas to all charges while his newly hired defense attorney scrambled to manage the media circus surrounding the case. The bail hearing became a crucial battle, with prosecutors demanding $300,000 while the defense argued for lower amounts based on his community ties and lack of prior criminal
I know he got it.
Ultimately, the judge settled on $75,000 bail, still a substantial sum that demonstrates the court's concern about flight risk and public safety. The conditions of his release included mandatory enrollment in substance abuse programs and regular check-ins with probation officers. These requirements suggest the court system recognizes underlying issues that contributed to his breakdown and arrest. Social media exploded with reactions ranging from genuine concern to harsh judgment. Fans flooded platforms with prayers and supportive messages, while critics used the incident to validate their
I know a nigga like this
about his controversial
is in such a hurry to die.
The divide in public
Bitch, cause when you dead, nigga, yeah, it's gonna be hot. Where you going?
Celebrity culture and accountability in the entertainment.
It's gonna be hot as fuck. These niggas should be trying everything they can to stay alive, bitch.
Cameras at a Hollywood hotel captured him wandering their property approximately 15 hours before the Ventura Boulevard incident. In these earlier recordings, he appears more composed but still exhibiting concerning behavior, removing clothing, drinking excessive water, and seeming disoriented about his location despite
this motherfucker should trying to survive and live. Because when this nigga gone, it's cooked.
Accelerated throughout the day and night. Hotel staff reported him appearing confused about where he was and why he was there, raising questions about what triggered this extended episode and whether intervention could have prevented the eventual confrontation with police. The legal implications extend far beyond just criminal penalties. This represents Montero's first encounter with serious criminal charges, marking a dramatic escalation from his previous civil legal issues, like the Nike trademark dispute over Satan shoes, where that earlier controversy was ultimately resolved through settlements and publicity. These criminal charges carry permanent consequences that could affect everything from touring internationally to maintaining professional licenses. Industry insiders been speculating about connections between his arrest and mounting career pressures. Recent musical releases failed to achieve the commercial success of his earlier hits, leading to whispers about his relevance and staying power in an increasingly competitive landscape. The stress of living up to impossible expectations while maintaining his provocative public persona may have contributed to whatever breaking point led to that August morning breakdown. The controversies that built his brand and broke his spirit. Now that we covered how Montero ended up in custody, let's rewind and examine the explosive controversies that defined his career trajectory. Every major scandal, every public outcry, every moment of moral panic, they all led to this inevitable crash that nobody wanted to see coming. This man mastered the art of turning success, but that same strategy might have ultimately destroyed him from the inside out. The foundation for his controversial reputation started with what many consider his masterpiece of provocation, the Montero Call Me By Your Name visual spectacle. This wasn't just a music video. It was a calculated assault on conservative sensibilities that depicted him seducing Satan himself in hell's most intimate setting. The religious imagery wasn't accidental. Every symbol, every reference, every provocative frame was designed to trigger maximum moral outrage from traditional Christian audiences. The accompanying merchandise strategy proved even more inflammatory. Collaborating with notorious art collective MSCHF, they created the legendary Satan footwear, customized Nike sneakers containing actual human blood, pentagrams, and biblical references to Satan's fall from grace. Limited to exactly 666 pairs priced at $1,018 each, they represented the perfect fusion of blasphemy and capitalism that defined Montero's approach to controversy marketing. The cultural response was swift and vicious. Conservative commentators like Candace Owens declared,
whoever about that shit gotta be retarded as hell.
He was corrupting black youth and undermining traditional family values. Religious leaders organized boycotts. Politicians condemned him publicly, and even Nike filed.
And the sad thing is, the youth like this shit. The kids be watching this bullshit, man. He really be fucking these kids up with this bullshit.
Every outraged sermon, every political condemnation just amplified his reach and drove more streams to his music. The backlash revealed deep fault lines in American culture around race, sexuality, and religious authority. Montero's critics weren't just upset about artistic expression. They were threatened by a young, black, openly gay artist who refused to stay in his assigned cultural lane. His response to the criticism was characteristically defiant, posting mock apologies that cut directly to scenes of him grinding on Satan, essentially telling his haters that their anger only made him more successful. Numbers don't lie when it comes to controversy driving commercial success. The Montero single shot, straight to #1 on Billboard, accumulated over 100 million views within weeks and established him as someone who could weaponize moral panic for mainstream profit. The Satan shoes sold out instantly, became collector's items worth thousands, and created a template for artist brand collaborations that pushed cultural boundaries. But the pattern of escalating provocations continued with his next major scandal. The J. Christ era marked his boldest religious appropriation yet, featuring album artwork that depicted him crucified like Jesus and music videos filled with biblical imagery reconstructed recontextualized through a queer lens. The title track was literally dedicated to Jesus Christ as the man who had the greatest comeback of all time, blending genuine spiritual exploration with calculated blasphemy. His promotional
This nigga's
campaigns
super gay,
reached new
though.
levels of offensive creativity. Social media
He ain't the
posts
normal gay. This is super, 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 super
dressed as
gay.
Christ, creating fake acceptance letters from conservative Christian universities and essentially cosplaying as the savior of Christianity while promoting music that many Christians found.
You can't call this Zesty no more. You call it gay.
Particularly crossed lines for religious audiences who consider those rituals sacred and not appropriate for entertainment purposes. Christian backlash reached fever pitch with prominent influencers and religious figures calling for boycotts, prayer campaigns, and even suggesting spiritual warfare against his influence. Twitch streamer Kai Cenat's viral rant about divine retribution reflected broader sentiments in religious communities that Montero had gone too far in mocking their faith. The controversy generated massive engagement, but also revealed the limitations of his shock value strategy. Aiden Ross also commented. He said,
"First of all, you're gay. You're automatically going to hell. Second of all, this not okay. It's just not okay, bro. It's just not okay. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. Listen, this not it. This really not it, bro. Like, I got a lot of people that are very close to me in my chat.
But you be on there as Zesty said shit 3 though.
We not rocking with this. It's super disrespectful. It's wrong.
Ultra
And
disrespectful.
burn, baby, burn. Like, who laughed at this, bro? Like, who's liking this? Like, bro, like,
Hell no.
like, TikTok, you should have just been take this.
for the first time, the backlash seemed to genuinely affect him. He issued public apologies acknowledging that some promotional content had gone overboard, suggesting that even he recognized boundaries existed in his pursuit of viral attention.
Man, you don't give a
I
fuck.
do apologize for that. I will say I am sorry for that. That was overboard. Though I don't agree with all of Christianity's rules or whatnot. Hello, everybody. I wanted to not necessarily.
Why like he got the gun and shit on? You know when Gunna had the little mask on?
I'm not the first person to
His
dress up
album?
as Jesus. I'm not the first rapper. I'm not the first artist. And I won't be the last. And I know, like, given my history with, the Call Me By Your Name video, anything that I do related to religion can be seen as, like, mockery. That just was not the case with this. And I will say, though, with the communion video, with me eating the crackers and juice, I thought that video was going to be the video.
Y'all think he actually got piped out before?
Take it down.
There'd be a lot of gay Zesty ass niggas that be fake. You think this nigga actually got piped out, bro? Like, oh no, like on Paul shit, like, you
the
feel me?
idea of
Like Crip, nigga.
the idea of the reality of what it is. It's me eating the communion, which is like the symbolism of like Jesus' blood and bones or something like that.
This moment of vulnerability contrasted sharply with his typically defiant responses to criticism, hinting at internal struggles with the psychological cost of constant controversy generation. The transgender community controversy revealed another dimension of his problematic social media behavior. His March 2023 joke about gender transition surgery landed during a particularly sensitive period when anti-trans
How do you get to this level?
was proliferating nationwide.
Like,
Poorly
I'm gonna be
timed
honest. How the fuck
sparked
do you get to
genuine
this? How do you turn out to be like
LGBTQ
this?
plus advocates who expected better from
Like, what type of childhood did you have for your ass to turn out to be like this?
criticism
Like, on some real shit, though.
side of his personality with crude dismissal
on some real nigga shit.
harassment campaigns.
Like, your childhood couldn't have been that bad.
The incident exposed
Like,
how
the
his
fuck?
internet troll background sometimes overwhelmed his role as a supposed advocate for marginalized communities. Even his eventual apology felt hollow compared to the immediate harm caused by his initial response and the subsequent pile-on from his fan base. The homophobic attacks he faced throughout his career created their own layer of trauma. Rapper Boosie Badazz's deleted tweet encouraging his suicide represented the extreme end of hip-hop's rejection of his openly gay identity. These weren't just professional criticisms, they were personal attacks on his right to exist and succeed as an authentic queer artist in traditionally masculine genres. Industry relationships suffered as well. His tensions with BET, after they questioned whether he was a Satanist or devil worshiper following his award show performance, illustrated how even supposedly supportive institutions harbored reservations about his provocative approach. The disconnect between his artistic vision and industry comfort levels created professional isolation that may have contributed to his recent breakdown. Each controversy followed a predictable pattern: Outrageous content drops, massive public outcry, defiant doubling down.
Imagine being that famous and rich just to be gay.
Diminishing returns as audiences became
Couldn't be
desensitized to
me,
his
bitch.
tactics. Critics began noting his reliance on shock value over musical substance, questioning whether his artistry could survive without manufactured outrage, driving attention to his releases. The psychological toll of maintaining this persona became increasingly obvious through his social media presence. Posts reflected growing paranoia about public reception, defensive attitudes toward criticism, and apparent struggles with balancing authentic self-expression against commercial pressures. The young man who once confidently trolled conservative America began showing signs of someone trapped by his own controversial reputation. Recent releases failed to generate the same level of cultural conversation despite employing similar provocative strategies. Jay Christ debuted poorly compared to his earlier hits, suggesting that audiences had either moved on or grown tired of his controversy-driven approach to promotion. The diminishing returns on shock value likely contributed to whatever crisis culminated in his August arrest. Career collapse, from chart topper to cautionary tale. Yo, let's talk about the transformation from internet sensation to industry pariah didn't happen overnight, but looking back, the warning signs were flashing bright red for anyone paying attention. Montero Lamar Hill's journey from viral genius to legal defendant represents one of the most dramatic career implosions in recent entertainment history. And understanding how we got here requires examining every crack in the foundation that eventually brought the whole structure tumbling down. Let's start at the beginning, because the Lil Nas X origin story reads like pure American dream material. Born into a musical family in suburban Georgia, with gospel singing relatives providing the soundtrack to his childhood, young Montero seemed destined for creative greatness. But beneath that promising surface, early struggles with identity, sexuality, and family dynamics created psychological fractures that would later manifest in his public breakdowns. His adolescent years were spent mastering social media manipulation as Nas Mirage, a hardcore Nicki Minaj stan account that built massive followings through strategic trolling and meme creation. College lasted barely a year before he dropped out to pursue music, supporting himself through minimum wage jobs at fast food chains and theme parks while crafting the song that would change everything. The meteoric success of Old Town Road wasn't just about catchy melodies and genre fusion. This track dominated Billboard for 19 consecutive weeks, broke streaming records, and forced the music industry to reconsider artificial boundaries between country and hip-hop. The Billy Ray Cyrus collaboration amplified its reach exponentially, earning diamond certification and multiple Grammy Awards while establishing Montero as someone who could manipulate cultural conversations for commercial gain. As far as his music is concerned, he is ready to go all out.
I really want to make sure I have fun this time around. I don't think I got to have as much fun during the Montero era because I was more overly focused on, making sure the songs did well than making sure I was like having fun doing, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I didn't have any fun. I had some fun, okay? But I want this time around to be even more fun, and I want to be like even more full of joy, and I want to be even more full of love, and I want to go out here in this world, and I want to wave my hands in the sky and move about freely, and that's what the Dream Boy era is going to be. Hotbox is coming next, fairly soon. I'm not going to give you guys a date. I'm going to announce it when I announce the date, okay? But I need you guys to stick beside me. We are coming, Monterage. We are coming. I have the songs. I have the fucking music.
But that unprecedented success created impossible expectations for everything that followed. When your debut single becomes the biggest hit of the decade, every subsequent release gets measured against that impossible standard. The pressure to recreate viral magic, while also establishing artistic credibility, proved more challenging than anyone anticipated, especially for someone still figuring out his identity as both an artist and a person. The decision to publicly embrace his homosexuality during Pride Month 2019 was strategically brilliant but personally costly. Coming out as the first openly gay black rapper to achieve mainstream success opened doors for LGBTQ plus representation, while also painting a target on his back for homophobic attacks from industry veterans and conservative audiences. The courage required for that revelation deserves recognition, but the psychological impact of constant scrutiny took its toll over time. However, he maintains that he is gay and proud. He even once threatened his straight fans.
A lot of y'all should be happy I'm gay, because I would take all very easily.
His internal struggle with sexuality.
He ain't capping. Them niggas, them bitches do like gay niggas. I don't know what it is. Them bitches do like gay ass niggas. But you can keep them hoes.
Later artistic choices. The transition from closeted self-doubt to militant queer visibility wasn't gradual healing. It was
And they ain't
reactive
capping. I
overcompensation
tell you that.
manifested as increasingly extreme
Dumbass
public
bitches do like gay ass
performances of
niggas.
sexual identity.
I
The
don't know what
Montero
it
album
is,
represented
but
both his
I
artistic
want a
peak
bitch
and the
who like
beginning of his
niggas.
commercial decline, peaking at number 2 on
Straight
Billboard while
niggas, bitch.
featuring chart toppers like Industry Baby. The project showcased genuine musical growth and emotional depth. Songs explored themes of fame, sexuality, mental health, and religious trauma with sophistication that surprised critics who dismissed him as a one-hit wonder. But the album's success couldn't mask growing problems in his personal relationships and professional partnerships. His romance with dancer Yaya Riza played out publicly.
Oh, wait, okay, so he did date somebody. Y'all read it?
Subsequent breakup, revealing someone who struggled to maintain intimate connections while living under constant public
That's
scrutiny.
nasty.
The emotional weight of that relationship's collapse, described as his most serious to date, contributed to the isolation that characterized his recent years. Industry relationships deteriorated as his controversies became more extreme and less commercially viable. The long-lived Montero tour achieved critical acclaim for its theatrical ambition and artistic vision. Sold-out venues couldn't compensate for diminishing streaming numbers and reduced
Is that
radio
James
support.
Charles
The disconnect
there?
between live performance success and digital platform struggles highlighted fundamental changes in how his audience consumed his content. Recent musical releases revealed the limitations of controversy-driven promotion strategies. Singles like J. Christ failed to maintain chart positions despite generating significant social media discussion, suggesting that audiences had grown fatigued with shock value tactics or moved on to newer artists employing
People
similar
need some
approaches.
substance,
The
bitch. You
diminishing
ain't giving out no
returns on
substance.
provocative content likely contributed to whatever crisis culminated in his arrest.
Look like
His
the devil's
approach to
puppy out
romantic
here.
relationships reflected broader struggles with intimacy and trust. Admitting to pausing relationship pursuits to focus on career advancement revealed someone who prioritized professional success over personal connections, a decision that may have increased his isolation and contributed to his recent breakdown. The 2021 GQ interview discussing his breakup with Ariza
These niggas don't be caring about that
genuine
money on them with that clown
vulnerability, rarely
fame.
displayed in
They
his
like the
public
shock
persona.
value when everybody
Even
talk
his
about that
documentary projects
dopamine.
couldn't bridge the gap between artistic
The money
ambition
on like the little
and
kicks,
commercial
but they like that
reality.
dopamine.
Long Live Montero offered rare insights into his family relationships while still guarding details about romantic partnerships and personal struggles. The careful curation of his image, even in supposedly intimate documentary footage, suggests someone uncomfortable with
Insane,
genuine
bitch.
vulnerability despite built a career on apparent authenticity. Awards and accolades accumulated throughout his career, including 2 Grammys, 5 Billboard Music Awards, and multiple MTV VMAs, but industry recognition couldn't address underlying psychological issues or provide the personal fulfillment he seemed
I hope it can change, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to see nobody just crash out.
Success
You feel me?
metrics meant nothing when measured against internal emptiness and
Hey,
relationship
it's never too late to
failures.
change, you know?
Personal traumas
Anybody can be
compounded
forgiven,
professional
but
pressures
shit.
in devastating ways.
You on some
His
bozo
grandmother's
shit.
death in 2018, his mother's ongoing addiction struggles, and the constant scrutiny of his
All
sexuality
the blasphemy
created
of
a
God
perfect
and
storm of
Yahweh and
emotional instability
Yeshua.
that his
You like,
team
bruh,
seemingly couldn't or didn't
they
address
tripping.
adequately. The February 2025 video reflecting on pretty difficult years hinted at struggles that were largely hidden from public view until they exploded into legal
Why you put
consequences.
explode with the
Career pivots
baby,
like
bitch?
turning down the Euphoria focus exclusively
Hell
on music
no.
demonstrated commitment to his artistic vision, but also reflected tunnel vision that ignored warning signs about his deteriorating mental state. The decision to concentrate solely on musical
Yeah, I'm telling y'all, man, them
while
white people be
avoiding
loving that gay ass
diversification
shit. You know what I'm
may
saying?
have increased pressure on each release to achieve
They want to be doing
impossible
all that gay
commercial
ass shit
impact.
before, like,
Streaming
a
data
lot of
tells
these
a
niggas was
story
doing
of
this shit.
gradual audience
All that gay
demand
shit
that
came from the white
contradicts
people.
his social media engagement levels. While controversy still generated
Just like the
headlines and
diseases
trending
and shit.
topics, actual listening patterns showed declining interest in his musical
That's a
output
fact.
among casual fans who powered Old Town Road to historic success. This disconnect between attention and consumption likely created cognitive dissonance about his actual cultural relevance. Industry insiders describe mounting frustration with his team's inability to translate viral moments into sustainable commercial success. The gap between his social media influence and actual market performance created tensions with record labels, booking agents, and business partners who expected returns on their investments in his controversial brand. The August arrest represents not just a legal crisis, but the inevitable culmination of years of unaddressed psychological trauma, professional pressures, and personal isolation that his success couldn't mask or resolve. Whether this represents a temporary setback or permanent career destruction remains unclear, but the trajectory from viral sensation to felony defendant serves as a cautionary tale about the hidden costs of fame in the social media age. Thanks, fam, for watching. To get more of such content, please click on the card show.
Shout out to Jamari. Let's be honest, man. We all see Lil Nas X as a gay industry plant, right?
2019, Lil Nas X hit lightning in a bottle when he dropped the song Old Town Road. This guy came out of absolutely nowhere, sleeping on his sister's couch after dropping out of college, and suddenly he had the biggest song in the entire world.
Then I find this beat on YouTube, which is the Old Town Road beat by this guy named Young Keo. And I made this song. It was like a loner cowboy running away from everything. And Old Town Road was like his path of success. And like, you know, they want to continue on this.
He paid
$30 for the beat and released the track independently on SoundCloud. That was back in the earlier days of TikTok, a platform that over time would gain a reputation for its ability to make unknown artists achieve hit songs. This song kind of hard. And with Nas X having a lot of experience on the internet in his teens, he already knew how to make memes and other posts go viral organically by understanding the algorithm through the best teacher, trial and error. So for months, he relentlessly promoted this song through memes, trying to force a trend to get attention towards his music.
Putting it into memes and, you know, like kind of forcing it into the internet.
He's smart, though.
Old Town Road became a meme on TikTok. People would drink something called hee-haw juice, and the song would start up and they might be dancing in a hip-hop manner, and they would jump in the air and transform into cowboys.
The song became a trending sound, and I really feel like the mixture of modern country over a
I
trap
told you,
beat
white people
really
love that
helped
gay
create
ass
this
shit, nigga.
independent hit.
It's Old Town Road.
Man, I've been telling y'all, nigga, this shit be sounding gay as fuck.
Yes, it is also a hip-hop song. It is a country trap song. It is both.
And once Columbia Records got their hands on Lil Nas and Old Town Road, they were highly incentivized to capitalize on its success, and really to make Nas a superstar while they do so.
How did you get all this money?
I made a song about horses.
And when Billy Ray Cyrus
Kiss
would hop
the
on the
devil
remix
ass,
only
bitch.
4 months later, it turned this bonfire into a full-blown inferno.
If you go to my past tweets, like 2 days after I bought the song, like, Twitter, please help me get Billy Ray on there, because I was like, Billy Ray Cyrus would be perfect for this.
He said, hey, we got this thing, we'd love for your husband to hear it. And I actually stood up out of my chair. I stood up and go, God, I love that. That dude is original.
And as a matter of fact, this song would have several remixes, featuring Billy Ray Cyrus,
I mean, it's not a horrible
Diplo,
song, but
Young
shit,
Thug,
if you know,
various
if you're a
BTS
real street
members,
nigga, you know that's
and
also
even Mason
break that
Ramsey,
mountain
the
shit, right?
yodeling Walmart kid.
And he said he had some really great news that Lil Nas X invited me to be on his song.
And so for over a year, this song plagued the ears of every shopper, radio enjoyer, and really person in the world.
I just made it there in my bedroom, and now the whole entire planet is listening to it.
And as a result, Old Town Road would be solidified as one of the biggest songs of all time, racking up over 1 billion streams and topping the Billboard charts for a record-breaking 19 weeks in a row. This was actually enough to make it the fastest song of all time to reach diamond status.
What's going on
and you
now,
have to keep
but
in mind
shit.
that Nas had purchased the beat for Old Town Road for $30. And he recorded the entire thing in a closet.
Wait, he bought the beat for $30?
And really, up until that time,
This nigga
the most
made
notable
billions of
thing
dollars
he
off
had
this shit
done
and only paid
online
$30
was run
for
a
niggas?
faceless
That's
fan
crazy.
page for Nicki Minaj.
Hell
and
no.
basically create viral pop culture memes.
That's
I guess
crazy.
I didn't realize like how great I had become
This
at
nigga done made
doing,
billions of
like,
dollars
internet
on
stuff
bought the
until
beat for
people started telling
$30.
me. So I was like,
Boy, I
it's
would
not
have felt
everybody
some
not
type of
use
way.
the internet this way.
Right.
But yeah, you learn
Hell
so
no.
much like subconsciously just doing the things that you do on the internet.
So for him to come out of nowhere like this was
That's some
unprecedented,
crazy
but
ass shit.
not unlikely. His understanding of social media and how it played into his blow-up really cannot be emphasized enough.
I saw you made that post on Reddit where you were like, what's that song that goes, I'm going to take my horse to the Old Town Road?
Because I knew that's what people want to search.
I mean, don't get me wrong, this was right after the era of the meme rapper, but Nas X was actually getting the numbers to back up his social media persona, unlike other acts whose online antics really
This
seemed
nigga
to
dope
outshine
ass.
their actual music.
Hey, fuck pumping this shit, man. I just hit 1 million, and we celebrating with a sand cake, bitch.
Although I will say Old Town Road was not without its own controversy, as people started to say that he stole the entire trap country sound from a rapper named Little Tracy,
Oh, he
who had
did?
released a song 6 months earlier called Like a Farmer.
I got horses in my car like a farmer. Me off in the pick up your dog.
That's a trash.
What's the country? Were you a country listener? Did you listen to country, or was
No,
it just
It
vibe?
was genuinely like I saw like one of these like country trappish kind of songs. I was like, damn, what if I did that but better? and that's what happened.
Either way,
So,
Lil
yeah,
Nas X
I
was
mean-
absolutely popping off. He was performing at elementary schools all around the country, but many still questioned if he would fall victim to the one-hit wonder curse that plagued so many artists, including Billy Ray Cyrus himself, at least before Old Town Road, that is. But on June 20th, 2019, we would see that the dude was actually bigger than one song.
Y'all know about
as
them
Lil
star
Nas would
rings,
drop a
man.
6-pack EP. And in that moment, he made it clear that he was really good at blending genres and essentially making whatever sounds he wanted from single to single. Nas went from something that sounded like it should be on a Scooby-Doo chase scene to soft punk rock, futuristic,
Hell no.
alternative, and even keeping that country vibe going as well. His 7 EP was positively received by the public, and the songs Rodeo and Panini were immediately deemed as his next hit songs.
What's different between this success you're having now and the success you had with Old Town Road? I feel like I'm much more in control of it, Like, I feel like I have the reins on it.
Now, a mere 10 days
How much
after
did he?
he would
I wonder how
more or
much
less
did he
prove
get?
that
Did he
was
actually
more than a
recoup
lucky
all that
artist
money,
who
or
caught a
did he
hit,
have to give all
Nas
that
would
back
come out of the
too?
closet,
Or it's like a
telling fans on
360
Twitter,
deal?
some of y'all already know, some of y'all don't care,
Did he got
some of
the
y'all not
masters
gonna
of
fuck
the
with me no
song? Like-
more. But before this month ends, I want y'all to listen closely to Closure, a song that appears to be about someone finally accepting their sexuality, later confirming this by saying that the rainbow imagery used in his album cover should have made it obvious that he was gay.
One of your recent social media posts hinted towards you revealing something about yourself
This
in the
motherfucker
future.
just
And you haven't revealed
diabolical.
that yet, and fans are
Just
pretty much
diabolical,
clamoring to
bitch.
find out what
I
that is.
kind of revealed,
You've given hints. What do you think you've revealed?
that I am gay.
And while some
You're not
obviously
just
resented
gay.
him for this, well,
You're
that's
gay,
kind of
gay,
fearless
gay,
either
gay,
way,
gay, gay,
many
super gay.
championed him for coming out at the peak of his
There's a
popularity.
difference between gay and being
My dad and my sister went the same month
super
that
gay.
I came out. I told them pretty much.
That's a big
And
fact.
after this, the guy was absolutely everywhere. He was making music with Cardi B, DaBaby, who was red hot at the time, and of course the real Nas, who inspired his name in the first place. And at that point, it was beyond clear that he was being backed by the industry machine,
I know
and
Lil
also
Nas
that
X
the
like, what
music
the
was actually
fuck?
good enough to
Man, he
keep him on
joined him
this
though, but
upward
shit.
trajectory. He was getting billions of views and streams on these songs, not even considering Old Town Road and its 1 million remixes. It was like the dude could do no wrong and he was destined to be a pop sensation. Now around this time, Nas would fully embrace his sexuality in both his music and his performances. I would definitely consider this a transitional phase for his public image, as this was something he admits he purposely did, even when it was subconsciously trying to clap back at the haters.
Anybody that's pissed off are the exact people that needs to be pissed off,
And at this point, it seemed
But
like
look at the
fully embracing
predicament
the
you
villain
in now,
role
bruh.
and kind of pissing people off seemed to be
Like,
something
yo,
that
Hamlet's
Nas X
probably
really
did something to
started
your
to
dumb
enjoy.
ass. You know
my
what I'm saying?
videos are much more like sexual and whatnot.
We all know
And you know how I used to
down
be,
with
we
Kanye.
used to be happy that people would be like, oh, he's not like those other gay people, like all flamboyant and whatnot. And it was like, that's not a compliment,
Going from using mostly comedy online to promote his music to now also using outrage to funnel attention to himself.
So what would you call what you do? Trolling, marketing, what is it? It's all of it. It's all of it. It's trolling, it's marketing. It works.
Like if people thought he was going too far in his music videos, he would do something more outrageous on a live stage to provoke them even more. If his detractors said that he should be a role model for kids who listen to his music, he would do everything in his power to push himself out of that pigeonhole.
And seeing all these other artists
Dumbass.
who are gay, kind of just like
Fuck the devil, nigga.
pushed to like this box of
You keep God, y'all was
gay
first,
artists.
bitch.
And it's like
You never let the fame and
It really
Moneion
did
stare
seem
y'all
like
like
every
that,
single
bitch.
week Nas was doing something deemed controversial. But he would not find himself in real hot
They
water
abused
until
this
he released the
motherfucker,
music
bitch.
video for his song Montero,
Like a
aka
pawn
Call
in
Me
a-
By
like
Your
a pawn
Name,
in
an
chessboard,
illusion that
bitch.
refers to his legal name Montero Lamar Hill. Where Nas is featured giving the devil a lap dance after sliding down a
Insane,
stripper pole
bitch.
to hell. This, accompanied by satanic imagery, definitely broke the
I'm telling you,
internet,
hell
made
not
a
like
lot of
that,
people
bitch. Your
mad,
ass gonna
while
be in
others
that bitch
celebrated what
cooked.
they saw as artistic expression. No matter what anyone thought, though, this resulted in a massive hit for Lil Nas. I mean, at the time, he had even more monthly listeners on Spotify than Drake. Though I should note, this can definitely be a deceiving metric to gauge an artist's overall success. And he would even double down on the whole Satan thing by releasing a 97 Nike Air Max shoe with more devilish
Dumbass.
illusions and imagery including a drop of blood cemented into every pair of shoes.
And kids actually be listening to this, and they know what the fuck he be saying. I'm telling y'all niggas, bro.
Collaboration
This shit is insane, bro.
how it came about.
With my song and my video, it was kind of like the perfect matchup. We came together and like this shoe, this crazy shoe. See, look at this. Look at the blood. That's insane. It's only 666 pairs of these.
Obviously,
That's
this would outrage the Christian
insane.
community even more.
I feel like a lot of people don't love it. Some people are gonna be mad or whatever. Like, yeah, people already demonize who I am, and
They got blood in his
me
shoes.
in a
It's
painting
insane.
of okay, he's evil, he's doing this, he's doing that. So it's like, you know what, I'll take that. I'll be that, and I'm gonna make the best of it.
And Nike would even
But
leverage a
why?
lawsuit against Nas for doing so.
This is about much more than shoes. Mr. Nas X, are you gay? This is shoes. Mr. Nas X, are you gay? What does this have to do with the shoes?
As this was an unofficial collaboration,
You know what
to
the
say
know
the
what them
least,
devil
and
ass
this
shoes,
would be
nigga?
the
What the fuck
first,
are you
but
talking about?
definitely
You
not
fucking
the last
that you
time
gay,
that Nas
nigga?
would go to war with the Christian community. From here, he would put out a myriad of hit songs, including Sun Goes
Big
Down,
goof ass.
That's What I Want, Industry Baby with industry plant Jack Harlow, as
Most
well as
definitely
other
Industry
songs that
Plant.
were well received. Though at that time, he would admit that he feared that his career and overall identity would always be wrapped up in Old Town Road.
Did you ever feel like Old Town Road was bigger than you?
Yeah, definitely.
At one time it was, I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was something that he had to learn to accept.
I have this on because I resented Old Town Road for so long, and it's like, no, that's a blessing, that's a gift from God. Yeah.
During these next couple of years, he would
Yeah,
still
hi,
use
buddy.
Twitter virality and other antics to
Yeah, hi,
promote his
buddy.
music, but for the most part, he would
I'm
stay out of the
pretty
limelight
jealous.
from 2022 through 2023. But at the top of last year, 2024, Lil Nas definitely wanted to stoke his dimming fire once again, as he seemed to be hitting a bit of a lull in his career. I mean, don't get me wrong, the numbers were still strong, but his audience
I'm
and
surprised he
streaming
didn't get no
numbers,
face
as
tat
well as his
with
social
some devil
media
horns or
growth,
some
was
shit, goofy
essentially
shit on
cut
his
in
head or
half.
some shit.
And this was while still releasing singles on a pretty normal basis. After all, with him being a pop artist, an album does not necessarily mean much, and I feel like his, or at least the label's strongest strategy, was to try and make every song a spectacle.
Well, you gotta be on some
Fuck
shit
this
to be
big
doing
body
that.
of work, we want the next big hit. And so he turned to his old bag of controversy, going even harder at Christianity directly with his song J. Christ, where he is pictured as his version of Jesus Christ, as well as the devil. This was clearly meant to be his next big single, his next Montero moment, if you will, but
That's
it completely
nasty.
struck out compared to his other songs that had controversy centered around them, and even people who weren't Christian took offense to his depiction of himself up on the cross. But once again, Nas would come from this standpoint that everyone was taking him too seriously and that he really meant no harm.
Nigga, is your
But I
soul
also
taking you too
didn't
seriously?
mean
That's what you need to be asking,
To
bitch.
like mock. This
Fuck
wasn't
us.
like a fuck you.
Fuck what we gotta think about, bitch. What your soul gotta say,
Fuck
bitch?
you to the Christians. Like, it wasn't.
You know what I'm saying?
It was not that.
Trip.
It was literally me saying, "Oh, I'm back like Jesus." Like, that was like the whole thing. I'm not the first person to dress up as Jesus. I'm not the first rapper. I'm not the first artist, and I won't be the last.
But once you
And I
start,
know, like,
once you
given my
start
history
explaining yourself, you already took an L. You
you know,
don't
the
never
Call Me By
explain
Your
yourself to
Name
the internet. The internet is like
Anything that I do relate to religion can be seen
the
as
internet is
like
almost
mockery.
unbeatable, bitch.
That just was not the case with this.
But this time, people were not defending him the way they were before, and in turn, he would actually double down, once again cosplaying as Jesus, and this time mocking the eating of the holy bread and the drinking of wine, which in the Catholic community represents the blood and body of Christ.
It's just not
Something
Catholic baptism
obviously not
too.
taken
Stop all
lightly
that
by those
Catholic
who
stuff.
believe.
It's because
And I
Catholic
will say, though,
baptism.
with the
Stop it.
communion video, with me eating the crackers
Was it
and
Catholic?
juice,
Nigga, don't
I
do
thought
that.
that video was going to be the video
Baptism.
to lighten the mood, to take it down, like, less serious and whatnot. I thought that was something that we all wanted to do as
I
kids
can't
and
stand
whatnot, but I
motherfuckers be
didn't
like,
understand.
well, you know this part of
the reality
like
of
when
what
Muslim
it
shit.
is.
Well, you know
It's
Muslim do all this and
eating
boo,
the
boo, boo,
communion,
boo,
which is
boo.
like the
Nigga,
symbolism
everybody
of,
do their
like,
religion.
Jesus'
Nigga, just because Muslims
blood
talk about they do some
and
bullshit.
bones or something like
the
that.
fuck?
I don't
Muslim
remember
not real.
completely, but I do
It's
apologize for that.
baptism,
I
you know
will
what
say
I'm saying?
I am sorry for that. That was overboard.
So by this
They don't
point,
think,
Nas
well,
had
yeah,
pissed off
they do
both
this
the
and with the
Christians and
rug
the
and this,
Catholics,
all
as
that
well as
fake.
other people in general who
The
kind
only
of
thing
just
they
found the
real is,
entire thing to
ain't
be
got Yahweh, the
distasteful.
Bible, bitch.
And then, on
That's
top
a
of
fact.
that, like, seeing, like, actual fans, like, turn and say, like, whoa,
why is he doing this? Why does he keep messing with these people?
This was obviously a massive blunder and a move that Nas X would regret even more than the music video itself.
Then I looked at the video with me like eating like the communion or whatnot, and I was like, okay, this looks really bad on paper. This thing that I thought was just like a little jokey, fun video.
And like I said before, this song J Christ was an absolute flop. This would in turn hurt the mental health of Nas X, and at this point he would definitely shy away from the limelight, seemingly right after he was ramped up for his next big campaign in his career. I feel like it's kind of the same vibes of what happened with that movie Snow White recently. The audience had spoken and they weren't listening to this song, debuting at 69 on the Billboard Hot 100 before falling straight off the charts 1 week later. Comparing this to Old Town Road, which spent 49 straight weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, industry baby that did 41 weeks, reaching the #1 spot at one point, and even Montero that spent 35 weeks on the Hot 100, debuting at #1, this was obviously a really bad sign. Because now he had all this backlash with no numbers to make it worth it.
I can say as many things as I want, but knowing my history, they look right, I look wrong.
But still, months later, he stood by his decision.
But I don't see why this motherfucker think I'm self-doubt when he
I'm
just...
gonna have fun, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna go outside, I deserve to be out here, I deserve the right to exist. Connected with something higher, and I felt like
Bro, you gonna always be a
I wanna get back to that and not just like,
you know what I'm saying? You
my
gonna be
haters
a
a lesson.
at this point.
And so he would be mostly quiet
He
in
always gonna be a
2024
meme.
besides
Nobody gonna
the
take his ass
occasional random
serious.
release.
What are you excited about over the next, 12 months for you?
This shit should have been a Moneion grab for him, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody gonna take this nigga serious.
The main thing I'm focused on is picking myself up out of this hole that I feel that I'm in, you know what I mean?
And only a couple of weeks ago would he really begin to campaign for his new album, days before Dream Boy. This was released at the tail end of March, and it basically has created zero buzz online, with most of the songs besides the single Hotbox getting less than a couple 100,000 views in the first 2 months. In fact, I didn't even know this album had come out, and even Lil Nas' social media efforts have been falling flat, with him seemingly unable to go viral.
This new pussy open up doors that ain't never been open before. This new pussy make the niggas fall in love. This new don't make the bitches fall in love.
It's like he's trying his old antics, but they're not working. And this is obviously a massive shift from the time where he could post literally anything, and it was getting millions of impressions and positive reinforcement from the internet.
Like there's a little bit of chaos, and I was going to ask you, what does positive chaos look like to Montero, and what does negative chaos look like?
I think that the thing is, it's usually when I can control.
When you do your shit organically,
I've lost.
you
I don't
keep
think
it
I have
fan.
the grip on controlling it.
When you
I
do all
feel
this
like
meme ass shit, this devil
a
shit,
lot of what it wants now.
that shit comes and
And at
goes,
this
nigga.
point, even with this new release, his audience has been cut by over 66% since his peak. And now for Nas, he's going to be at a very interesting place in his career. Because without the numbers, the label has already found a new shiny toy to play with. And at this point, they're going to start caring less and less about Nas X and pouring absolutely no gasoline on his career. This can obviously make it very hard to release music, hard to get the budgets he might desire to try and go viral, and overall it's a really bad place to be for him after they were likely pouring a lot of resources into his career for years.
But these motherfuckers should be rich as hell. They bad contracts, nigga.
During I don't know, a lot of dark times I've been having in my own life.
If you do all this shit and you not getting no bag, you got this gay ass shit, weird devil, demonic ass shit, you is crazy, nigga.
The funny man.
This supposed to be a
Overall, I
Moneion
do think that
grabbing
Nas
dip,
X is a
nigga.
talented guy who has obviously accomplished more than most in the music industry. But at the same time, with him constantly changing around his style and sound, it is hard to get a core fan base. And after a while, I feel like the antics can start to hurt your career way more than they help. Because it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf, but instead it's the guy who will do absolutely anything for attention. He also alienated his fan base with a few of these moves. And honestly, when your audience is on the younger side, they tend to move on to other artists naturally and swiftly as they age. And your only hope as an artist is that they either age with you, or you keep bringing in new fans of that same demographic. But that is extremely hard to do, especially in pop music. You know, the genre that is most dependent on the industry machine. So yes, I want to know what you guys think about Lil Nas X and the current state of his career. If I'm being completely honest, I do think that it's only down from here for Lil Nas. I don't even know if this guy can really catch another hit.
Show his ass away.
I mean, to to me, it's pretty obvious that the label couldn't really give a shit about him anymore. The effects of the memes, the effects of the comedy, the effects of the controversy, it's all kind of worn off. And I just think at this point there's really not that many people that genuinely care. So y'all let me know y'all's thoughts down below. I also want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been with the Tan Superman and some other fallen artists that need to be covered. So I'm out. Peace.
Just like they use all us, bitch. They keep God Yahweh first.
Get ready to relax.
I'll be back. So it's like, bruh, this nigga did all this sellout, devil shit, just to end up losing it all. You know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta keep God first, bro, because, like, why put yourself in a predicament? No, you're not doing the right thing. You on some BS. No, everybody think you a meme. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, nobody gonna take you serious. You might give a fuck if you get locked up and arrested. These niggas don't give a fuck. The devil don't give a fuck that he lost one of his pawns. The fuck, nigga, you cook. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, anybody can change their life. Anybody can change to righteousness. But like I said, man, like, Lil Nas X did a lot of shit. So it's like, you feel me? But at the end of the day, we can't judge him at the end of the day. We're just getting our 2 cents on what we think about the matter, man. So, hey, I hope y'all understand this video, man. Enjoy it. And we out to bitch hood and outside. Big Crip gang and outside shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. Even though this is instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.